So this week, we have been um, inspired in my classes by Thich Nhat. He was a Buddhist monk, and he was a peacemaker. He worked with Martin Luther King Jr. during the civil rights movement. He was good friends with the Dalai Lama. He was very well respected by both religious and political leaders around the world. He has set up monasteries around the world. In fact, there's one in Mississippi called Magnolia Grove, and I've heard really great things about it if you're ever needing a getaway or a spiritual retreat. I've actually never been because I usually go to Gethsemane up in Kentucky, but it is on my list to check out. There was a quote that I used yesterday by him, and it's going to begin our practice today. And then I'll bring you a little bit more information regarding the subject. He said, "Waking up in the morning, I smile. 24 new hours are before me. I vow to live fully in each moment, and I look at all beings through the eyes of compassion." And I want you to think about how, yes, that's a quote by him, but this is really how he lived his life. And this is what a big portion of his teachings were: just to smile and the benefits of putting a smile on your face. In the book, I didn't bring it inside this room with me, but there's a book that he has called Miracle of Mindfulness. It's a really thin, simple read book, and it gives a lot of tips on how to practice mindfulness. Yesterday, we focused on breath work and how to focus on the inhale and the exhale to ground us in the moment and to make us more conscious beings. When he was talking about smiling first thing in the morning, he said, have a reminder next to your bed. If you use an alarm clock, have a picture of someone smiling or a note that says to smile. And he also suggested something cool. I know I like to bring things of nature into my home. In fact, I don't know if you can see behind me, I have a new crystal that says citrine crystal that I have next to my mat today. But he suggested a branch. Lots of branches have the shape of a smile. And he said, set the branch on a furniture across from your bedside table or hang it up on the wall. And that could be your reminder to wake up with a smile. I wanted to share with this that years ago, I did a whole theme based on smiling. But that theme was talking about the science of smiling. And I want to remind you of that because it was so long ago. Science actually says that if we smile, we can trick our brain, even if we're not feeling joyous or happy in the moment. So if we just put a smile on our face, it can trick the brain and it can release dopamine and serotonin. And those chemicals and hormones will create a feeling of inner happiness and joy. It helps to boost our immunity. It helps to reduce stress. It helps us to lower our heart rate and our blood pressure. And so you've probably heard the statement, fake it till you make it. This is kind of what Thich Nhat Hanh was saying in the book, The Miracle of Mindfulness. He has a whole section on having a half smile with all the things that you do throughout the day. To put a smile on your face, even if you're driving, if you're having a conversation, if you're washing the dishes, if you're listening to music, basically as a reminder, just like we did with the breath work, at least put a half smile on your face. So we're going to be not only doing poses that create that feeling or that curve in the body like a smile, but I'm actually going to remind you to put the smile on your face. So let's start. And we're going to begin with banana asana. I think it's a perfect way to start, since side bends are a great way to begin our practice. So if you lie on your back and travel the feet over to the right corner of the mat, Your arms can come up overhead alongside your ears, and you're swaying the upper body that same direction. I suggest keeping both heels on the floor, both butt cheeks on the floor, both shoulder blades nestled down to the floor. And I suggest curling the outer lips up. Breathe into your left side body. We're going to begin the same way we did yesterday, with a little mindful meditation on the breath. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I breathe in peace. Breathing out, I breathe out peace. Breathing in peace. Breathing out peace. Peace in. Peace out. In and out. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I smile. Breathing in, smiling. Breathing out, smiling. In and out. Inhale, bring yourself to center. And as you exhale, take your feet over to the left and then swerve the upper body to the left as well. Staying connected to the earth. And reconnecting to your breath. Thich Nhat says in his writings, in his teachings, that whenever we're angry, stressed, upset, or engrossed with fear, to still see if we can put a half smile on our face. Because if we are frowning, it can not only harden the face, but harden the heart and limit the mind. They say yawns are contagious, but smiles are equally contagious. Smiling at someone who doesn't even acknowledge your presence or your effort can actually brighten their day. It can turn their attitude around, and you may not even know that you had that type of impact. Even though you may be alone in your house and no one's looking at your face, can you try this exercise of smiling? What Thich Nhat Hanh refers to as mouth yoga. Just hearing that makes me smile. Couple more breaths into your right side. Inhale, bring yourself back to center. And as you exhale, draw the knees in towards your side ribs. Bring your hands up to take a hold of your feet into happy baby pose. When you're holding happy baby pose, just think about the times that you have changed a child's diaper. Maybe it was your own, maybe it was your grandchild. How happy they are and how they're smiling and cooing up at you. Or think of any other memory that brings a smile to your face. Notice how smiling can even change the way your eyes feel. You may have heard the expression, the eyes are smiling back. Let's hold this one 3 more breaths. Release your feet, draw the legs together, roll to your left side body, and then slowly begin to build your way up to stand. When you come to stand at the top of the mat, we're going to root and ground the feet, stacking the leg bones, and bring your hands to prayer position at your heart. Have your chin parallel to the floor, looking straight ahead with your eyes. As you inhale, sweep the arms to your sides and up overhead. And as you exhale, palms rejoin and you fold straight down. Now let's see if we can do Uttanasana, the more active variation of this pose. Keeping the legs straight and defining the quads. So on your next in-breath, we're going to step the left foot back. And we're going to bring the hands up to the heart and erect the spine. And take a moment to find your stability here, because this is a balancing pose. All right, remember crescent lunge is named that way because when we take a little back bend, it's that curve from the neck swooping down the back to the heel that's behind us. So let's inhale, expand the arms into the winged position, and maybe arch back. So now your back body is smiling. One more deep breath. Inhale, bring the spine back up. And exhale, you can either clasp a hold of your elbows behind your back, or you can do reverse prayer hands. I did reverse prayer hands at the studio this morning, so I'm just going to cross my arms for a different effect. Pick one of your liking. And on your next exhale, lean down, bring the hands down, and then drop the back knee, shin, and foot. Now, your right hand is going to come to your waist, and you're going to inhale, lift the left arm upward. And then as you exhale, lean the head back, bring the thumb to the chest. So we're doing a lower variation of the lunge. Inhale, shine the left arm up, maybe crank it back more alongside the ear. And then exhale, we're bringing the hands down to frame the front foot. Take a couple of breaths here. We'll curl the back toes under and step back into your plank. From plank position, shine the heart forward and out. And then exhale, back it up to downward facing dog. With your feet hip distance apart, your seat climbing upward, bow your head. We have a common expression in our culture that says, turn your frown upside down. On your next inhale, just breathe in. And as you breathe out, descend your knees. Untuck the toes and just come straight on down to your belly. Somewhere on your face, chin or brow, bring the arms beside your thighs. And then inhale, we're lifting into locust. Head, shoulders, chest, legs, and feet flying upward. Engaging your glutes, engaging your low back, engaging that diaphragmatic breathing, and then checking out the shape of this pose that looks and mimics a smile. As you exhale, gently lower down. Slide your hands up underneath your shoulders. Push up to all fours. And exhaling back into extended child's pose. The arms can be active or passive here. As you're residing here, I want to share another quote from Thich, Nhat, Hanh. Sometimes your joy is the source of your smile, but sometimes your smile can be the source of your joy. So when we're naturally happy, we tend to smile naturally. But on the flip side of that, he's saying, and science says, if we smile, we can actually create that inner alchemy to create that feeling of joy and happiness within. On your next in-breath, rock up to hands and knees. Curl your toes under on the exhale. Inhale, lift to your plank. Full breath in and out. And then exhale, back it up to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, descend your knees. Untuck the toes. Take your time coming back down to a prone position. We're bringing the arms back alongside us, palms facing downward, so that we can inhale, come back to locust. Turn the outer lips up. And on the next out breath, come on down. Slide your hands up underneath your shoulders, press up and back. Now we're not going to stay in extended child's pose this time because we're going to walk the arms and hands over to the right. So we're making a side bend here in child's. Now elbows can be up or down, yin or yang. Remain in this pose and breathe. So quite a number of years ago when I started teaching in Franklin, there was a beautiful lady. Her name was Janice, and she was a part of Sweethearts of the Rodeo. It's a country band. It's she and her sister, and Janice is the guitar player. And at this time, I didn't know who she was, but I always noticed when she would come to the studio, she would just sit and have this smile on her face. And one day she stayed after class and we were having a chat, and I said something to her. I was like, "You are so beautiful. What is your secret?" And she said, "I try to smile all the time because it takes less muscles in the face to smile than it does to frown." And that never left me. And when I did that series a few years ago on smiling, I found an article that was saying there was 300 muscles in the face. 300, that's a lot. On your next in breath, we'll slowly come up and we'll track the hands all the way over the mat and off to the left side, and then we'll lower back in. Even though you're face down, see if you can create that outer smile. Producing a smile can help other tension in the mind and body dissolve away. Plus, it'll make you feel better. It'll enliven your spirit, help to heighten your mood. On your next in breath, gently lift up, walk your hands back to the sticky mat, come up to hands and knees, curl your toes, lift the knees to plank, And then exhale back and up, downward facing dog. And begin walking the feet forward to the top of the mat. This time, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to wrap the arms. More of this dangling position here. This is a skin refreshener for the face. And you may notice a natural smile that comes in just with gravity pulling down on your cheeks. And bring in that mindful meditation, breathing in. I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out. I know that I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I breathe in peace. Breathing out, I breathe out peace. Breathing in peace. Breathing out peace. Peace in, peace out. In and out. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I smile. Smiling in, smiling out. In and out. On your next in-breath, press through the feet. Sweep the arms to your sides and up, looking straight ahead with your eyes. Exhale, bring the palms together. Let them pass forward of the heart and hinge from your hips. Straightening the leg bones this time to an active form of this forward fold. On your next inhale, we're going to step the right foot back, floating the hands up to prayer position at the heart. Now we can get the crescent lunges in on this side. This is a balancing position, and if you're really off with your balance today, you can always do a variation of Warrior One with the back heel grounded. All right, inhale, open the arms, lean back if possible, and gaze slightly upward. Inhale, bring the spine back up to vertical. Take your arms, thread them behind the back the opposite way. Or you can always do reverse namaste hands instead. On your next out breath, let's pour on down. Let your hands assist you as you lower the back knee, shin and foot. Your left hand can come to your waist. Your right arm's gonna rise. And then as you exhale, create a back bend. It doesn't have to be very dramatic. Right hand to the chest. Inhale, really lift the right arm. Maybe crank it back more beside your ear. And then exhale, bring both hands down. Dropping through the pelvic floor. This variation of a half lunge or dragon pose. I remember doing a meditation years ago at the studio, and it was based on sitting in silence, and if or when the body got cranky or achy, we were to smile inwardly and allow that place to be seen and heard, and then sit with it in the aspect of trying to release the tension and let it go. Now let's curl the back toes under, lift that knee, step into your plank. Exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna roll through to up dog, and we're gonna roll back to down dog. If you need more structure in your body, you can pass through plank and make it more linear. Otherwise, try to elevate your heels, draw the navel in, chin to chest, and you're basically creating this serpentine motion towards an upward facing dog, and then making the head bow, the shoulders arch, the hips lift to roll back to downward facing dog. Again, you can use more structure and pass through plank if that's better. Look at the smile that even comes in upward facing dog. Last one. Once you re-arrive to downward facing dog, take pause here. Breathe in and breathe out, sink your knees. Roll down to a prone position. And then extend your arms ahead of you. We're gonna do the Superman style of locust. So when you're ready, inhale, the pubic bone and the low belly is your station. Hold and breathe. Exhale, bring the hands, feet, head down. Inhale, rock up to tabletop position, and exhale back into extended child's pose. All right, we're gonna change up the flow. As we inhale, rock to hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift your left leg. And as you exhale, you're gonna bring the left knee and shin to the top of the mat for swan. Now remember, if you don't do swan, or this is not the best for your body, you can glide your right knee closer to that left foot and just come over into deer pose, or flip to your back and cross the left ankle over the right knee. If you're going to do the swan with me, you're actually going to walk the hands over to the right. And you're going to lower first to Sphinx arms. So your upper body is catty corner now. And then you have an option here to perform it similar to the side child's, sliding the arms ahead of you, or you can cross your arms to provide a headrest. This is where we will remain for a bit. Slowly start our climb up. Bringing the hands back around to the mats. We'll curl the back toes and we're going to step into our plank. So from plank, we're going to dip the hips, lift the head. Exhale, bow the head and roll it back, downward facing dog. Again, you can have more structure if you'd like. Otherwise, you can do that kind of serpentine motion, back and forth between the two. Once you return to downward facing dog, take a deep breath in. Exhale, land your knees. Slowly come back down to the belly, untucking the toes, sending the arms in front. I promise this is the last locust. Inhale, Superman style. Exhale, come on back down, hands under the shoulders. Inhale, press up. Exhale, put child's pose. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, we're ready for swan or deer. So lift your right leg. Exhale, bring that shin behind your hands. Slide the left leg back. So again, deer pose would be more like this if you need it. So don't worry about doing the side positioning that we're going to do in swan. If your other leg is straight back, that's the pose. We'll walk the hands over and sink to the forearms. So we're going to just warm up here first. And then going deeper if that's your desire, arms stretching out like so, or crossing the arms. Inhale, we'll slowly start to come up. And we're going to just lower to that right hip. Bring that left leg around in front. Have your heels set in front of you. And then squeeze in your belly and lower down to your low back. And then pick up your feet. Now, this is obviously core work, but it's shaped like a smile. And it's really hard to smile in this pose, but see if you can. Exhale. Now you can really smile because we're letting that go. And try not to overly squeeze the knees in because we're actually going to wrap the right leg over the left here. And you can do a couple different things. So if you want to work on your hips and stretching out your glutes a little bit, your hands can hug in your left thigh or shin, okay, depending upon the knee and how it affects it. You also have a second option to expand your arms and to roll the knees to the left into this variation of a twist called twisted roots. And there's a third option, which is a very yen pose, where you keep your legs crossed, you take your hands to your feet, and as your left knee lowers to the floor, your right leg extends and crosses over the body. And this is a different variation of cat pulling its tail pose. So pick 1, 2, or 3. Slowly come out of that position. I'm crossing the legs, recrossing now the left over the right. And then at first hug it in, because you may discover, this is exactly what you need. Maybe you don't need the second or third pose, okay? If you'd rather roll into the twist, open your arms, take twisted roots. And then if you want this variation of cat pulling its tail pose, you lower that left knee, holding the top of the foot, and you extend the left leg over your midline. And you're staying on your back looking towards the ceiling. Ready to exit, take your time. If you were in a twist, I would suggest hugging the knees in side by side just to help to reset the back. And then it's time for our Shavasana. So if you want to grab blocks, bolsters, blankets to get really cushioned into your favorite pose, feel free to do that. And as soon as you get settled, making sure that you feel warm, close the eyes, drop within. You're going to use that mindful meditation. Breathing in. I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out. I know that I'm breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in peace. Breathing out peace. Peace in. Peace out. In and out. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I smile. Smiling in, smiling out. In and out. Such simple instruction that anyone can follow. If you remember any of those pieces and want to repeat it in your mind, you can. If you'd rather practice some inner silence, do that with a half smile on your face. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, Breathing out. Breathing in. I breathe in peace. Breathing out. I send peace out. Peace in. Peace out. In and out. Breathing in, I smile. Breathing out, I smile. Smiling in. Smiling out. In and out. And slowly begin to exit the pose that you had chosen and join me in a formal seat. Once you come up to sit, let's join the hands together to Anjali Mudra. We receive these beautiful gestures, these mudras from India, from that particular culture. And really, it doesn't matter where you go in the world. A smile is understood as international language, and no words have to even be spoken. Let's appreciate that for a moment. And the love and the light within my heart bows humbly and respectfully to the love and the light within your heart. Namaste.